Welcome back to SoulBack. This is the R&B Podcast. Kyle here with Tom and Ed, and guys, we are on episode 50.
Man, it is a monumentous occasion. 50 episodes in. I haven't killed either one of you. I've stayed out of jail. This is a big, big day.
Ed, you almost killed me a few times.
Well, you test my blood pressure every week, player, so the feeling's mutual.
Well, guys, it's crazy. It's been 50 episodes of SoulBack, but we've actually done a lot more on our previously titled, I Got So-and-So in Stereo podcast. But, and it just hit me because Good Kisser by Usher celebrated its 5-year anniversary, and I remember us doing that podcast even way back then, so we've been on this for a minute.
It's crazy. A lot of times, I know we have some new listeners who may have just kind of picked up with us in the past couple months, but yeah, your boys have been out here grinding for years now, so it's cool that we're celebrating 50 years of SoulBack, or 50 episodes of SoulBack, but it feels like 50 years dealing with you two, so we've got plenty of experience under our belt, and thankfully we made some really good connections, and today we're going to have a few friends stop by.
Ed, man, you are an old man. I wouldn't put 50 years past you.
Well,
calm down.
I age every day dealing with you two.
But no, Ed made a great point. We actually do have some friends stopping by. So because this is the 50th episode and we have some friends joining us, I thought maybe we can steer away from the regular routine that we do. And let's just focus on the guests entirely. We're going to have almost an hour with the guests to go through their extensive history because they do have a lot to share with us. Guys, welcome back to SoulBack. Like I said, every week we try to bring in a special guest, someone who has brought soul back. And Ed, I want you to introduce these guys right here because to me and Tom, this is family. But Ed, who are the special guests this week?
Oh man, I get to do the introduction honors. I'm honored. So today we're joined by, as most of our listeners know, a group I've been standing for the past 20 years. Two members of one of the most underrated yet influential R&B trios in the game, and they have gone on to join forces with another powerful R&B, quartet at this point. I'm with my boys today. Digital Black, my man Smokey Digglera from Playa. What's up, y'all?
What's up, fella?
Man, I can't call it.
What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all having us, brother.
Hey, sure. Smoke, let's get started just so we can get this cleared out of the way because I don't think we've ever talked about it, but on your Instagram page...
Hold on, Kyle. Before we start things, man, can we just please give a shout to Static Major real quick, please? Rest in peace, Static Major, and we love that guy.
Absolutely.
I Static Major.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But back to Smoke's Instagram. You haven't done one in a while, but Tom and I and Ed always talked about it. We thought it was the funniest thing ever. #FatBoyShyt, where you would wine-flavored Oreos, cupcake-flavored Snickers. I just have one question about that, Smoke. Did you ever try any of those things?
Absolutely. And anything I don't like. Can we curse on here?
Yes, you can.
Cool. Anything I don't like, I give that shit to the kids.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, they'll eat it. Well, shit, they like it. As long as it's got sugar in it, they don't care.
That's dope.
But yeah, I started trying to get on a little health tip after a while, so I kind of cut down posting it, and then it turned into, cut down posting it so I don't look like the fat boy that I'm posting. But I still do. If I see new or limited edition in the grocery store, I got to get it. Just see what's up.
Listen, guys, man, we are so excited for both of you, man. You linked up with Dru Hill. First of all, we were so shocked to even see that. And then, man, you guys are going all over the world, touring with the group, recording an album with the group. Man, you're part of Dru Hill now. Man, talk about that whole situation.
Yo, this is Black. Fellas, it's definitely been a blessing, man, just to be able to get paid and your job is to go, you know what I'm saying, do something that you love to do, not only that you love to do, something that you was born to do. It really don't get no better than that, you know what I'm saying, other than seeing my kids accomplish their goals. I think, I mean, I think Smoke would concur. This it's definitely been a crazy change, but definitely a blessed change.
Yeah, I mean, this is Smoke. Just knowing these guys, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, over 20 years and kind of bringing, you know, our talent, skills, gifts, and abilities together, you know, it's really epic. You know, I mean, just sitting and thinking about it, I don't know, and I challenge anyone to do the research. I don't know of anyone that has ever done this or that could ever, you know, say, hey, we now have the opportunity, the blessing to be able to sing from two different catalogs. You know what I mean? It's that major. It's Guinness Book World Records type shit.
Absolutely.
Facts. No, I mean, this is Black again. Cisco and Noak, man, the fellas has just been Kel. I mean, the whole Dru Hill family. We was already a part of that 20 years ago. We went on our first tour with them, and from that tour we built the bond, man. You know, when you're on the road a lot of times, and it's just you and another group or you and another artist. A lot of times it's y'all against the world, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So at time, we was able to build a real brotherhood, man. You know, just kicking it from show to show, from city to city. So, I mean, yeah, two upstanding dudes, man. Two super talented dudes, Cisco and Nokia, man. I mean, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Tell them about the speakers.
The speakers.
Yeah, when we was on tour.
Okay, check this out. A lot of times, and this is some behind the scenes type stuff. The closing act doesn't allow the opening act to use all the speakers. Sounds right. So when the closing act comes on, that show always sounds bigger a lot of times because not using all the opening acts, not using all the speakers. I've seen it done years and years, time and time, but Dru Hill was totally against that, man. When they opened their arms to us, man. So just off of that alone, it was a mutual respect that these ain't just, you know what I'm saying, like the love they showed wasn't fake, you know what I'm saying? Let me say it like this. They was content in themselves, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times people are insecure. When you're insecure, you do insecure type shit, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They wasn't insecure about us being on the, you know what I'm saying, on the same level sound wise or on the same level stage wise, man. It's just always been a brotherhood, man. So that's probably why it fits so well and why it's fitted so well, because we got over 20 years, like Smoke said, of friendship and love and admiration for each other. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
For sure. Yeah. Ed, I got to throw it to you because when I first heard about Smoke and Black joining Dru Hill, it was obviously epic to me. But when I look at the profile at first, it was like Smoke of Dru Hill, Black of Dru Hill. And I'm like, wait a minute, they're part of Playa. So, Ed, when you first heard about the news, what was your immediate reaction? And to you, how does Black and Smoke make sense to Dru Hill?
Well, see, you got to look at kind of my fandom. And I know no one listening to this will be surprised, but when I heard my two boys joining, well, my two other boys, it reminded me of 1997 when Levert, Sweat, and Gill got together and became LSG. You got these established voices and artists coming together for the greater good, and we saw how great that project was when those three artists came together. At the time, people were like, what, why are these coming together? How is it going to work? But they meshed seamlessly. And when you look at the catalogs between both Playa and Dru Hill, it seems different, but there's a lot of similarities there. So I felt like I was hyped from jump because I knew that these four brothers would come together and mesh very well. And I'm sure you two can probably speak to attest to that. How was the chemistry when you all decided to get together and start performing? Did it take a long time for you to get in the groove?
No,
well, this is Smoke. My fault. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Smoke. Go ahead.
No, when we first got together and sang, it was like literally like a decision to give it a shot, like on the way to the venue. And when we got out on stage with them, it just worked. And I think that, for a short period of time, we looked at it like, wow, that worked. But then after we got to thinking about it, it's like, well, absolutely, of course it would have worked. And that's the easy part, because we're all talented and doing something that we love to do, and we've been doing for over 2 decades. Of course, we would know on that aspect how to make it work. But then last minute, we decided, let's go into the studio, see if that worked. And we went to the studio and recorded some shit, and it was just like, damn, it's it right there. This is what we need to do. And from that point on, it did not stop.
Yo, it's just black, man. I think of it too like it comes from what our sounds are different, but the our influences are the same. You know what I'm saying? Us being a part of the basement. Shout out to Jodeci, Devontae Swing, KC. You know what I'm saying? Ginuwine, Dalvin, JoJo. You know what I'm saying? Missy, Timberland, Magoo. Us being a part of that sound. Tweet, Sugar, Rolita, and Susan. It just made sense. Like, even though our sounds are different, our influence was the same. If you listen to Dru Hill early on, Cisco was definitely compared to KC, and we grew up listening to KC and had the opportunity to also work with them for years. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like Smoke said, professionally we all can sing, so that was the easy part. It was really just once you heard it on stage, you was like, aha, right? And then we went into the studio. That kind of confirmed what we already knew, and then just from that point on, man, it's just been us gelling. If you know Dru Hill, the fans that's listening, they always have a high octane show, dancing, singing, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, you know what I'm saying, no lip sync. So it just was it's just been a maturation of super dope individuals. Nobody has an ego, and everybody's working for the greater good, you know what I'm saying, and that's, to elevate Dru Hill to even higher and to bring real R&B music back.
Man, we've seen you guys on Instagram. We've seen the videos of you guys in the studio with Troy Taylor, recording some of that new music for this album. We're so excited to hear this music. What can you tell us about this new album?
This is black again, man. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can. But it's a super dope album, man. I mean, some of the songs, you know what I'm saying, working with Troy Taylor, who's a legend, already sets the bar pretty high, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's a collaboration of just beautiful harmonies and beautiful written songs, you know what I'm saying? Dope written songs. I mean, if you love R&B, you're going to love this album. You're going to super love this album.
Wow.
That's dope. Now, guys, I got to ask you individually, obviously it's been quite some time since we've heard music from Playa, and as you guys all know, I've been waiting for new music from you guys for a while, but the opportunity to go back on the road, to go back in the studio and release something, was that even realistic for you guys before you guys, eventually joined Dru Hill? Was there a point where you guys had just said, you know what, we're done with the music, we're just going to live our life? Or was it always in the back of your mind that one day you guys would go back on the road and do this all over again?
This is Smoke. We definitely had plans and aspirations to do a Playa project. We had been actually around that time last year recently, like speaking of releasing a a single, and just kind of starting there. But as far as us being totally done with music, whether we went the player route or the solo route or even the behind-the-scenes production and writing route, no, that was never on my mind. And I know I can speak for Black, that was never on his mind. But it just made so much sense to not only to do and to become a part of the Dru Hill movement, but it also was an exciting thing too. You know, it was like our homeboys want to come together and do some shit. Absolutely. I mean, you know what? I mean, hey, the only thing that I wanted to make sure, and I'll speak on not only a personal tip, but kind of a business tip. The only thing that I was concerned about at the time was just making sure that the player legacy did not get tainted. Mm-hmm. And that was something that the whole Dru Hill family was definitely not all about, tainting that. That's why whenever we go out on stage, we definitely give you a piece of player as well, because player is not just Dru Hill. Dru Hill is player as well at this point.
Well said, Smoke. I'll give Smoke a hand. Well said.
Yes, well said.
For sure.
Thank you.
Ed, I'm going to toss it over to you. Oh, go ahead, Black.
I tell you, this is Black, man. As Smoke said, I mean, when you're born to do something, you continue to do it. Whether you know, if you look at if we use sports for example, when a lot of the guys retire from whatever sport, they end up going to either coaching or in the front office type situation. So at some point, we was always going to be doing something musically. I really, really, really believe that music is my life. You know what I'm saying? I can always do something besides music, but music is what I believe. And if you ask Cisco, he would say the same thing. You ask Nokia, he would say the same thing. I know Smoke will concur. Music is so much me and them that I don't know if you ever, you know what I'm saying, if you love it, if you're in love with music, I don't know if you ever put it down to where it's not, you know what I'm saying, you're going to always be a part of it some type of way.
Sure. Now, Ed, let's talk about this Playa legacy that Smoke mentioned. Ed, you loved Cheers to You album. You were actually living in Louisville at one point. Just talk to me about that Playa legacy, that sound that everyone still craves today from your perspective.
I mean, that sound, I feel like, and a lot of that, you know, we tip our hat, of course, to our boy Static, but that sound has really permeated R&B at this point. I mean, we got Drake now sampling records that Playa did 10, 15 years ago, and the sound that was cultivated late 90s, early 2000s, that dark sound that y'all call it a vibe now. Back then, we would just call it hot. But that sound that was part of them really helped set the tone for R&B today. And you're right. Like I was in Louisville 2001 to 2009, around the time when Never Too Late had kind of popped off real quick. And the love there is still real. And I think that this combination of Playa and Dru Hill, I know a lot of fans get kind of weird when the Dru Hill that they knew has kind of taken a different form, and people get weird because they get used to what they're comfortable with and what they grew up with. But I think, to me, this is an opportunity to push both sounds forward, because this is a chance to put both legacies at a higher plane, at a different pace, and gives it a chance to be showcased in different lights. So to my boys, I want to know what they think of kind of this union and how it serves to, I mean, we heard a little bit about how you were very adamant that Playa's legacy doesn't get lost in Dru Hill's legacy. And as a Playa fan, I'm very, very appreciative of that. But how do you think that this new album pushes not only Playa's legacy ahead, but Dru's legacy ahead as well?
This is Smoke. I would say that one of the key factors, and it all stems from our bond. It all stems from there not being any egos. you know, and stuff like that. When you hear the new Dru Hill music that is coming, you're gonna hear a lot of all four of us. There's not just Cisco, it's not just Nokia, it's not just Black, it's not just Smoke. You're gonna hear all of us. So it's not like, you know, if some people may have thought that, okay, we joined Dru Hill and we would just be in the back. No, it's like all four of us are in the front. So that's one of the things that I think is very positive to making sure that Dru Hill as well as Playa together, unified, shines through with our music.
This is Black. From a production and a writer standpoint, I'm so blessed. I'm so, you know what I'm saying, to be able to write for two of my favorite singers in the game. And my perception it's an opportunity for me to, you know what I'm saying, write or have written something that I really, really, you know what I'm saying, I want to put the guys I love in the best position I can put them in. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of playing on some stuff, point guard. So I know in my head where Smokes likes to get his shots from. I know where Cisco likes to get his shots from. So it's just been it's been so fun, man, going in watching Cisco create, Smoke create, Nokia create. You know what I'm saying? It's been an honor to be, you know, in the room at this point in my career, being able to still write for, I don't care what nobody say, two of the most distinctive voices in the game.
Well, why not three? Why not me? I ain't one of your favorite singers.
Who?
I'm not one of your favorite singers, nigga.
I said Smoke.
Okay. You said two. I thought you were talking about you and Cisco. My fault.
No, I'm not one of my favorites. Listen, watch this. Fellas, I'm so humble and I'm so not, like, I love to hear myself sing, but I love to hear y'all sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not my favorite singer. Y'all two of y'all are. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it twisted. I can sing. SANG, but I like hearing them sing. You know what I'm saying? There it is. Sure. And just for the record, again, Smoke is one of my favorite singers, y'all. Just Smoke.
Yeah, clear that shit out.
Nah, but it's definitely, man. The album is, I'm gonna keep saying it's stupid. And I want to say to if it's, you know, some of the Dru Hill fans that's listening, we got in the group and we didn't get in the group to bring it down. You know what I'm saying? We got in the group to definitely meet what Dru Hill's always been. You know what I'm saying? So for those who are still wondering if, you know, what it's going to be like, what it's going to sound like, it's still going to be Dru. It's just Dru reloaded, or it's just it's we got in the group to make sure Dru's legacy was straight, Playa's legacy was straight, and R&B was straight. R&B ain't straight right now, and collectively we wanted to do something about it. Bottom line.
Right.
That's what's up.
For sure. Now, Tom, you've seen it all over social media about, you know, this new change in Dru Hill, the new lineup. And Black and Smoke, I'll tell you guys, R&B fans, we're like dinosaurs. We don't like change. We hate change. So when we see new lineups come in, new members come and go, it's tough. But, Tom, from your perspective, it seems like the Dru Hill fans have embraced Black and Smoke.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's been interesting. We just reposted a post that Cisco made about the new lineup of Dru Hill, you know, naming all the current members. And, man, people at first, you know, they're shocked a little bit. They're like, wow, you know, this is a drastic change. But then people realize, wow, we brought two real singers into the group. We brought some legit artists. It's not like it was like we just picked whoever. We brought established artists who the group already had a relationship with. So people are excited, guys. I mean, what's the reaction you guys have seen from fans about the change?
Can I jump in? Go ahead. Yep.
This is Kevin Peck, longtime manager from the very beginning. I know I'm not supposed to be on the interview, but sitting up here doing this epic change of the second coming, which the name of the album is, it's hard not to jump in because I've seen Black and Smoke from the very beginning when they went on a promo tour with us and rehearsed for a month in Atlanta with our band before we went on tour to this day and time now. And preserving a legacy like Dru Hill is not easy in the climate that most people do. Like everybody else, most lead singers would have left the group by now and just said, you know what, I'm not going to be dealing with all of the change. But the brand Dru Hill is music, it's R&B music, and it means so much more than an individual that it has to carry on long after we are here on Earth. And so the change is the only thing that's constant in life. And if you're not willing to change and grow, you're going to die. And so just because one member, or you've heard season, reason, lifetime, just because one member decides that that's not what they want to do at the time, should the brand that's been created and made so many people happy and made so much beautiful music just be kicked to the curb, or should we push forward until we can't push forward anymore? So we want all stars on the team as well. And so the perfect fit was the least likely thing that we were thinking about. We were thinking because once Jazz decided to take a hiatus on working on his health and on himself, and that was a year and a half ago. Dru Hill's not a three-man group. The harmony is just too intricate to go that way. But we had to get two other people. And so when Nokia invited us to just sing together, couldn't have Smoke without Black, you know what I'm saying? Couldn't take one without the other. So we just said, the kind of people we are, we said, let's take both and see what we work out. And over that year, it's been some other changes. Hales decided to go in another direction, and it's kind of settled to where it's supposed to be at this moment. And it's the second coming. We got two from Playa, original members, two from Dru Hill, original members, and we've adopted the motto, we are Dru Hill. So that's kind of how the future looks. The future looks bright. It's exciting, it's challenging, and people always want you to be who you were yesterday. If you were a drug addict yesterday, not saying that nobody is, we don't want to be that today. You can be who you were in third grade, you know what I'm saying? Or when you had on diapers. You can't stay the same, and you can't please everybody. But at the bottom line, the music is continued. We're getting more bookings than ever. We work every weekend of the year all over the world. And there's nobody giving their money back at the box office because a certain member who decided to... Granted, we didn't put anybody out the group, guys. They decided on their own to do something different. So when you look at it from that perspective, are we not supposed to keep feeding our family because you decide you don't want to be in the group anymore? That answer is absolutely not. We got love for everybody. Who knows? It might be a reunion with everybody who's ever been in Dru Hill one day. But today, as a second coming move in 2019, you can expect a powerful group of brothers singing for real and bringing you real energy and real entertainment on the stage. I'm gonna go back on mute. I don't think I've ever jumped in the middle of the interview. But I just thought.
It's all love, Kevin.
You did a damn good job, though.
for the clarity of the future, since I've been with the group since they were 14, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot, and I've seen it all. Believe me, and I've seen it all. But we got to keep moving forward because backwards is not an option. So
Right.
continue, guys. Thank you for allowing me to have my platform, and I'm gonna go back on mute.
No, Kevin, you don't even have to worry, man, because you don't even know this, but Black and Smoke are a family, man, since probably about 10 years ago now, man. We linked up with them. We've been supporting Static, man. This is our family. So we were so excited to see them link up with Dru Hill and so excited to see the big things they're doing, man. This is an epic moment for R&B and for Playa and for Dru Hill, man. We're excited.
Yeah, this is almost as powerful as Tiger winning the Masters again.
Yeah.
These guys getting a chance to, you know what I mean, because it was cut short for a minute, and the season wasn't that time. Now this is the season for them to experience this part of the music business. They experience one part, but this is a whole different part, and they get to bring their gift to fans around the world, which is a beautiful thing.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah. Ed, I'm going to throw it to you. We talked extensively about Dru, but let's get into Playa a little bit here. That Cheers to You album, Ed. Not necessarily the highest selling album of all time, but still a classic album. What do you have to say about that album, Ed?
We have talked about that album endlessly on this podcast. I mean, I talked about moving to when I moved to Louisville in 2001 and playing track number 7, I-65, and was like, I know what they talking about because I'm going out I-65. I'm going to Oklahoma. So I know how much that album means as far as, we have harmonies.
Ed, real quick. When I visited Louisville, I took a picture with the I-65 street sign, man. That's how epic that is to me. Go ahead, Ed.
I lived on it for a decade. That was home. I still go back. I'm going back in a couple months for a wedding. But, man, that album meant so much to the Derby City and just R&B in general. I would like to ask my boys, though, when we think about the legacy of that album, we love to talk about on the podcast, like, just our favorite songs just from a project. So I know it's going to be tough because this is y'all baby, but if you could share your favorite track from it, we'll do the same.
No, I can tell you right now, this is Smoke. My favorite track is Together.
Oh, yeah. My joint.
This is Black. I'm going to go off the wall. Probably wouldn't nobody even think this would be my favorite song, but Top of the World.
What you're gonna say.
Top of the World, I love that song. That's like, I think the reason why I love that song is because we sang so aggressively. So soulful. That song was a song that we just backed everything off and sung in our false. Something that we do sing in our false, but background wise and stuff. But as far as leads, we hadn't started to tap into that yet, and we all sung in our false on that one. That was dope. That was dope to me. That's my favorite Playa song.
You know how you listen to albums, and you may even pop it back in weeks or months or years later, and you gradually continue to accrue new favorites. It was probably a couple of months ago. I got on one of the mobile apps. I don't know if it was Google Play or what it was, and went to the album and played it while I was in the gym. And I would say that at that point in time, my favorite was Bugging Over You. To the point to where I had to cut that motherfucker off because I was in the gym, and who cries in the gym? You can't be in the gym crying and shit.
Oh man.
I would say this is Black. Another one too is I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I like what I like. I'll Be to See You is another one that you could, and of course I-65, but I-65 just was, we had been away from home for so long, and we was missing home, and Smoke had this damn loop, and I was like, nah, we got to do something with that loop. And he got to fucking with that loop, and then he got to put some keys over top of it, and shit, I was like, you know what I'm saying? That was one of those situations where that song pretty much wrote itself, we probably wrote that song in 3, you know what I'm saying, literally wrote it and laid it probably in an hour, which might not sound long to today's because you got Pro Tools and you don't got to, back when you had reels or whatever, everything was, you know what I'm saying, a much tedious process, you know what I'm saying? So
analog.
Yeah. We definitely I-65 was that's really, if you close your eyes, you got a beautiful glimpse of Louisville, Kentucky.
Can I share mine real quick? Man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man, One Man Woman, I love that song. You know, Aaliyah being on the song. But I got to ask you guys, I have one issue with one line in that song. A lot of girls I can call, but 9 times out of 10 I don't call them at all. Is that acceptable? Can you tell a woman that you're faithful to and she'll accept that? 9 times out of 10, what about?
This is black. What we meant when we were on that line was really, it wasn't saying that we get numbers and don't call them. It was basically saying that we wasn't really tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
Sometimes you just, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't really tripping. We wasn't out here just hounding. You know what I'm saying? I just got a number. You know, it was on that line. It wasn't saying that we just was
gotcha.
We had it like that, but we like 9, 10 girls, and I won't even call them. I wasn't like that. It was more like our life tended to put us in a position where we didn't have time to do a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Gotcha. That changes everything for me, man. Thank you for clarifying that.
And what do you have?
Ed.
Yeah.
Which one you got?
Oh man, y'all picked out the good ones. I mean, my real number 1 is Top of the World, but then my number 2 is Bugging Over You. You can't really hate on Push. Of course, the title track is legendary to me. If I had to pick one, it would have to be Top of the World, but Bugging Over You is a very close number 2.
Kyle.
Yep.
Well, it's funny. I actually got in contact with Magoo a couple of weeks ago. I found Magoo by itself, but those 2 interludes that he has on there, those are some legendary interludes. Guys, talk to me about how the ones were created. Derby City, especially, that was epic.
That is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Black, but that Derby interlude is all the genius of Smoke. A lot of times when we was recording, Smoke would kind of, when I say set the tone, he produced over half of the album. So, that's, you know, I've had the pleasure of not only singing with this guy, but we lived together for probably the first, I say 5 to 7 years of our career. So I know him like the back of my hand. He knows me like the back of his hand. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, you know, Smoke would start the vibe off, and we just would finish his sentence, or I would start off, and they would put, you know what I'm saying, finish my sentence. It's that type of second nature, and I'm pretty sure, I know from working with Cisco and Nokia, watching them work together, it's the same way. When you get some, you know, when you've been working with somebody so long, you kind of know, like I said about the basketball analogy, I know what Smoke like his shots at. I'm going to make sure I put the ball right there where he needs it. Because if I do, is he going to score?
Wow.
So it's that type of thing, man. I mean, the interludes, hell, man. That Derby City interlude, damn, they're one of the best songs on the damn album.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
What you think, Smoke?
I'd have to agree with you on that. That interlude right there gets me all the way together. To where I think it was last year me and Black were kind of trying to put like a different show that we had done together, and I just thought that was around the same time I was listening to the album and had kind of started liking Bugging Over You as my favorite at that point. But I came across that Derby City interlude, and I'm like, this is what we need to come out on stage on, that one. Because I'm like, it bops.
Wow. Right. That's dope.
Dope. So I got one more song for you guys. Yeah. I got one more song for you guys, not on the Playa album, but just one that you guys did together, and we'll move on from this Playa discussion. But Raise Your Frown by Nicole Wray. I know you guys all had a part of that. Ed, you love that song, don't you?
I love that song, and I know a lot of people get tired of me talking about that Nicole Wray album. Y'all slept on it, and I'm going to keep on talking about it till you play it, because that album was incredible. And you guys had a big hand in the production of that song, particularly one of my favorites. So talk a little bit about Nicole Wray and how underrated that album is, man. They slept.
This is Black. Missy came to us, was like, I got an artist. I think y'all be a perfect fit working with her. And then we met this beautiful little chocolate little young lady, man, and she became like a little sister to us. So again, when you writing and you creating, you know, you have an opportunity to spend time with somebody and really get to know them. The music shit is super easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love when I always loved when I knew the artist I was writing for. You know what I'm saying? I know what type of person they are. I know what kind of heart they got. You know what I'm saying? It makes my job as a producer, writer, Smoke's job so much easier. So working with Nicole Wray again, Smoke tracks set the tone, man. Smoke's tracks set the tone of what we in Static was writing. And that's just being 100% honest. You know, a lot of times I feel like Smoke don't get a lot of credit that he deserves, you know what I'm saying? As a stupid-ass producer. And a lot of the stuff we worked on, Smoke set the tone. And that's just being 100% honest. You know, again, it might be he know me and Static so well that he put the ball right where we need it, as I said earlier. But he definitely set the tone to a lot of that player sound.
Cool. But let me ask you this, guys, because you know, I'm a New Yorker, right? And I never visited upstate New York. I don't know. You know, we don't know what's out there. I convinced my wife to take a trip through upstate New York. You know, Rochester, New York, the basement, an epic moment for R&B music for you know, for so many artists who started there. Is there a building we can visit? Like that should be designated a historic monument where the basement got started. I'm serious. Like, just take us back to that moment, man. Rochester, New York.
This is Black. I think Dejaline Studio still up there. It might not be the same name, but
yeah, the last time I heard, they it's still there, but I think they remodeled it. But okay. I think it's still there though.
But where were you guys living at though? Where you guys were living at the time?
211 Andrew Street. 214. Yep. 214 Andrew Street.
Really? I'm going there. Yeah. I'm going.
I never forget, man. Shout out to Rochester, man. I got a lot of extended family up there. You know what I'm saying? They made the country boys from Louisville, Kentucky feel at home, man. And you get through you go from Louisville to New York. It wasn't really a culture shock, but you know what I'm saying. It definitely was a little different, but people were super loving, super.
Hospitable,
supportive, hospitable. Yeah. Rochester got some good people, man. Rochester, New York, got some good people, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then lastly, guys, Black, I know you're out here making the donuts. Smoke, you are as well. What is it like going back on the road, doing shows with people like Ginuwine and KC, people that you came up with? What is that camaraderie and love like nowadays?
Man, this is Smoke. It's all love. I mean, it's almost like a family reunion. We were able to be not just necessarily on the same stage, but in the same location as a lot of people that we know, or a lot of people that we came up with, and the love, you know, has been grand. I mean, Cisco has med comments a number of times about, damn, all these people keep coming backstage to say hi to y'all. because as soon as we get in town and people know that we're there, you know, those that are aware that we're a part of Dru Hill, you know, they haven't seen us in a long time. You know, we haven't seen them, so they come back, you know, and you know, start the reconnection process with us. And I mean, it's been all love, all acceptance. all admiration, from everybody. Ginuwine, love seeing him. We've been on a lot of shows with him. We love seeing him. He loves seeing us. KC, yeah, that's Unc right there. So, that's always a blessing to see him and to hear him, too, because that Negro sang. He got 2 A's in his sang.
Right. Yes, no, it's been a blessing. This is Black. It's been a blessing, man. Again, goes back to the simple as saying being able to do what you love to do. But I think it's time around for me, and I don't know Smoke. You have to ask Smoke, and I know he would say the same thing, but a little bit different. I'm gonna say it like this: I'm smelling the roses this time. A lot of times, we take for granted being able to do this thing, and I hope I think you take it for granted, and this time I just want to make sure I see everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's been a difference for me. Not a lot of partying. You know what I'm saying? Just it being about the music. You know what I'm saying? It being about the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? We spend a lot of time together when we ain't on stage. So it's, for me, it's been, like I said, I'm smelling the roses this time.
That's amazing, guys. And let me just say, this is Tom here, New York City. Dru Hill, I see, is coming to Sony Hall in July. Kev, if you're still listening, man, let's please make this happen. I would love to say what's up to the guys, just come to that show and, just show love. It's an amazing thing that these guys are going on tour all over the place. Kev, let's make it happen. Before we go, though, guys,
yeah.
Can we give just one more shout out to Static Major? This site wouldn't be possible without Static.
Nah.
He brought me and Kyle together. So let's give a shout out to Static Major one more time.
This is Black, man. I'm gonna say, a day think about you every day. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing musically without thinking about you. I Smoke. I'm always gonna love you, man. And hopefully, we keep living through us. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you see smoking Black, we got Static with us.
Amazing, man. And Smoking Black, man, once again, man, we appreciate you. We're going to support you, whatever you guys are doing, man. We will have your back.
Make sure y'all,
absolutely.
This is Black. Make sure y'all be looking out for that new album, Dru Hill, The Second Coming. It's going to be an amazing album. It's going to be a change of R&B. It's a change of R&B. Make sure y'all look out for that.
Black, is there a date for our first single?
We're actually
coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. We're honing down. We're honing it down so we kind of know where we want to go. But yeah, it's coming soon. It's coming way sooner than later. Way sooner than later. Dru Hill, The Second Coming.
So, all right, guys, that seems to be it for us. I appreciate you guys joining us. Is there anything that you'd like to tell the people before we get out of here?
This is Black. I just like to thank everybody for always being showing us so much love, man, over the years, through the years. All your kind words, all your kind posts have never done nothing but uplift, and we appreciate it. I'm humbled to still be able to sing for y'all and to y'all, and hopefully see y'all at a venue soon.
Absolutely. I would say the same. I also would like to thank all the haters as well. That keeps me going personally. Yeah, the more you hate, the more I'm ready to keep going. That pushes me. Yeah, definitely thanks for all the support from all the fans, all the listeners, all the consumers. Please connect with each and every one of us as well as the group as a whole on social media, because we're going to have a lot of social media stuff that we're getting ready to integrate online that's going to be really resourceful for fans and really rewarding as well. So definitely connect with Dru Hill and each one of us individually on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, you name it. Just stay tuned. It's coming.
Mm-hmm. Dope.
Yes, sir. Smoke Black,
finally,
y'all save me some of that Indian chicken next time I get up there.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I'll have a big red and a bag of Grippos for you too.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, Smoking Black. The next time Oreos comes out with like a Kool-Aid flavored cookie, we're coming.
Oh my God!
I did see one yesterday. I should have posted it. I'm gonna get back on my fat boy shit just for y'all.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
And there we have it. That was Black and Smoke of Playa as well as Dru Hill. Family right there, Tom and Ed, family.
Ed, this was one of my favorite SoulBack podcasts right here, man.
Yeah, man, and we knew it would be because we got two guests who have been really, for those who don't know, really part of the genesis of I Got Soul. And even when I came on board, someone that the three of us immediately had a connection with. So you're talking to three fans of those two artists, and two artists who have become great fans and friends of ours as well. It's just a big family combo, dog, and it was fun.
Kyle, can we just shout out Static Major once again? I wouldn't have even known Kyle if it wasn't for Static Major.
Yeah, this is absolutely true. So shout outs to Static, and also shout outs to Dru Hill's manager, Kevin. That was an epic moment. He randomly butted in there. He explained
Not
the genesis of Dru Hill, and that was crazy.
No, that was a good moment.
And I think it was
busting in the podcast but dropping knowledge.
Yeah. I mean, we've had many members of Dru Hill, former and present, join us on the podcast, and everyone's going to have their own side. Everyone's going to have their own story, but on our podcast, we're not trying to pick sides. We're just trying to share everyone's story. So it was just cool to hear the perspective of the current, state of Dru Hill. So shout outs to Kevin for that. Hopefully we'll get Cisco on a podcast sooner or later, maybe when the album drops. But guys, it's been 50 episodes. I'm proud of what you guys have done, proud of what I have done, and we're going to just keep this thing going.
Can I share my favorite moment, guys?
Yeah.
It was when we had Jermaine Dupri on the podcast. You remember that, guys?
Oh, no question. That was one of our biggest guests ever, and JD proved to be great fun, very insightful, and I think the thing that continues to stick out with me is despite his celebrity, despite all the credits he's gotten,
Ed,
he has... What?
You're way off, Ed. Do you know why that was my favorite?
Why was it your favorite?
Do you remember what he said on that episode? He was like... There was a moment when he was like, "Who have you guys even had on this podcast?" And I'm here doing this because I love R&B. Remember that?
No, that's what I was getting at before I was so rudely interrupted.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes. Okay, continue.
Well, yes. That's he. Even though he's done a whole lot in both R&B, hip hop, pop, his dedication to R&B is still there. So it was good to have him come on and be like, I'm supporting the genre that helped put me on.
But that moment actually drove me because we hadn't at that point had many people on there, like name wise. Right. So I wanted to make a point to have everyone we could get on here. And since then, we've had some big names on here. Right, Kyle?
Some huge names. Broken some news.
Yes. I feel like we break news every single week. We break history on here.
Yeah.
So
agreed. Man, I'll tell you my favorite guests that we've had so far. And Ed, you'll appreciate this one. Mr. J. Holiday himself. He was on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
I loved it.
Oh, yes. That one will go down in infamy.
Right. Man.
Ed, who was your favorite?
Man, I've had a bunch.
On the spot.
I love when we had Keith on. I love when we had... When Black was on earlier, that was one of my favorites. Probably my two favorites were Tidra Moses, who's just hilarious, and and my man Peebo Bryson. Shout out to Peebo. That was me and Kyle. It was hilarious. He was calling Kyle. What did he call you? Daryl or something? He just made up a new name for Kyle. It was hilarious, but shout out to my man. I know as of this recording, he's having some health issues, but truly a legitimate legend in this game. And it was just like sitting back talking to an OG, an R&B OG, one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. I think we're out of here, but let's just do a quick SoulBack track of the day before we get out of here. Let's go with a record that Static had taken part of. We Need a Resolution by Aaliyah. What do you guys remember about that one with the snake in the music video?
Oh, man. I was just talking about this on the Soul and Stereo Cypher over on Facebook. So there was some controversy recently about Taylor Swift's quote-unquote stealing Beyonce's performance recently, stealing her homecoming performance. I remember when Britney Spears performed at the MTV Awards with a snake, and people were so pissed because they were like, she stole the we need a resolution snake from Aaliyah's video. People were pissed off. If there was Twitter back then, Britney would have got canceled.
Man, I just miss Aaliyah, man. You brought that up now, man. She's been gone how long now?
Oh my God.
18 years?
Man,
damn.
going on 20.
Ed, man, you're killing me.
We old player. Sorry to remind you.
Yeah. And that was a great record too. So rest in peace to Aaliyah and Static for taking part in that one. And I guess that's it for
Kyle,
this week.
Can I real quick? My other favorite episode. Can I shout real quick?
Yep.
Our boy Travis Cherry, the producer,
yep.
man. That was, he still DMs us hating on Ed for not choosing Confessions over 8701.
Well, I want a redo of that one because I wasn't on that episode, so I want a redo of that.
But we're gonna bring him back, man. He's a real good dude, man. One of the best producers we ever met. Real good dude.
Yeah. All right, guys. I guess that's it for this week's episode. Shoutouts to Black and Smoke for joining us on the podcast, and we'll be back next week with some more great R&B. But until then, this is Kyle, Ed, and Tom, and we are out of here. 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 And we are